Morning. No. It's afternoon now. A tetrahedron is a triangle, but with three of them. So that top three there, so it goes 1, 2, 3 faces, and then you put one on the bottom. That's a tetrahedron, and it's a triangle in two form. And we're trying to, so if you think of that tetrahedron and then glue 4 more, one on each face, because you got 1, 2, 3 and the bottom, so you've got 4 faces. So if you put one of them on each face, you've then got one of them in the centre as a hollow, along with the other centres. And yeah, we're trying to make that. So that stemmed from, we do our tarot journaling to strengthen our intuition, and it took us ages to start. I think we won this on summer solstice in June, and it's taken us till September, so 3 months. It takes us about 3 months to get something and apply it, and then we have to do it like all neat, and then different styles, and then other stuff comes out and symbols start coming in, and then we've got diagrams with not much going on, so that when we do it, so if we do it daily, what's hard is not all of them right or do it in a conventional way, so how it's expressed or written depends which alters out. And then there's more there, lots going on here, and that's like talking about the numbers and everything, lots. This one brought out the chant or the song Amen Ra Ha He Hi Ho, that we did the other day on one of our healings. And then one of them was about asking more questions, so then loads of questions came out and got answered, but they're haven't been done yet, so there's lots of empty pages. And then it's gone back into some more and more questions, split off some more, so we're getting better at it and doing things and not so whatever. And then yesterday it was all colour and started getting pretty with drawings, and then today full on kind of drawings was coming out, so that was great, and their interpretations of that was just amazing. So it's Monday, which is the day of the moon, and that reading was done, let's see if there might even be the cops here. So yeah, see, there's the swords picture, and what we got from that was, if you look at the swords, there's one sword in her right hand. If you look at these 4 swords back here, it looks like her left hip and left upper thigh is being supported by the swords. And then you've got these ones that actually look like they're in her back. So what they've interpreted from this is that we need to lay on our front with our left hip and top of our leg supported against the wall, with weights going down our right back trunk and a weight on our right palm. And yeah, and so they got all kinds of stuff, and they'd line up the pictures. So if that's the case, that one, we also, it started off, what was the question? The question was, what do we need to know about changing patterns? A few things kind of came out, and then 2 steps forward, 1 backward. If you swap the words around but not the numbers, it's 2 steps, that's this bit here, 2 steps backwards, 1 forward. If you keep the words the same but swap the numbers around, it's 1 step forward, 2 backwards. And if you swap it all around, it's 1 step backwards, 2 forward. So we had our starting card, but actually for our starting card, which is position 2, because you have the numbers in here, 1, 2, 3, our starting card then was the middle card, so that you had 1 step backward and then 2 steps forward. We won't go into it, it can go into more, that why is it, that could be backwards to some, but it's what's the habitual pattern to start with before we change it. So the first card to come out was actually 2 cards, and like that, and we got from that the cups are half empty and half full. It's a sunset. You got your red and orange and yellow, which is your lower body, in the darkness, and your heart and mind in the daylight. So we learnt that we need to
we go more into our lower body as the sun sets, and therefore we need to embrace stuff for our heart chakra and for nurturing ourselves in the evenings. And in the mornings when it's daylight, we need to embrace our lower body, which is where the energies got charged up from the night before. This is a future reading though, not what's happening at the moment, because at the moment we're backwards. And yeah, we line them up. So 2 came out for the first card. We only wanted 1 for each, but we get what we're given. 1 came out for the other one, and then 2 steps forward bring you into that right position where these cards, and they line the lines up. So if you look at these, this is like, they got from that, it's a zebra is the symbol for EDS, but we feel like we're a rainbow zebra because we don't even feel like we fit in as an EDS section. But this is the EDS zebra, but in your lion, tiger, big cat form. And then you line up these lines. So you can line that up, for instance, with that one, or you can line it up with that one. But when you line it up with that one, you've got that bottom one lined up as well. So they're both kind of lined up. So you go from the 2D perspective, not the cat of the background, into a background of 3D perspective. And then you line up the river coming out of the mouth of the skeleton. They counted the number of the teeth. There's 10 teeth showing, so 5 on the left, 5 on the right. The bit of the skeleton that's missing is the jaw, and the jaw represents the pelvis. So basically this is only symbolising the upper half of the body, not from the pelvis down. And the energy flow is coming out of the mouth, and then you line up those 2. So the energy flow is going from right to left, and then left to down. So that's what that picture is there. So they've just like taken in all these different, a completely different understanding or perspective of, like, this is how each of the altars are. How to describe? Each of the altars are showing me how they do things through the senses, because it's all about the senses, and that's how that's then came out. So they've put these up here in display in our art section. So this is our 16-year-old artwork at not college, I think it was GCSE, 16 GCSE. So we've put our shapes up there, so that's good. We've lit all of our 10 candles, because it's the 19th today, so it's the middle balance point of our 10-10 portal. We had the oils out here because they were out charging under the super new moon, Libra new moon, so we had them out with the energies when we did the healing yesterday for the last read in this format of the Dreams of Gaia. So the patterning's changing, so this is all changing now. The candles there are ready to lit when we actually do it. The cards were pulled last night in the Void of Course moon. So 3 cards were given. So rather than doing 5 cards, working with a spectrum of energies in the bigger picture, it's already given us 3 cards to start with. So the spectrum of energies are these 2, and then that's the card in the middle. So that it's because we're learning to summarise and condense down. And then same here, so it's 3 lots of 3. So be it. So this is the spectrum here. This is the opening of the reading with the daily healing. And this is the closing of the reading with the language of the flowers. And this is... We're doing White Light Oracle for 2 days for Sagittarius and Capricorn. And then it will go on to a new pack, which I'm not sure what that is when we start with Aquarius. So that will get done later. And then I was just looking over here at this pile. They put things in piles. So it's with our Bagheera and soon to be Unisys. At the moment, that's just a Pegasus, which is a cross between a unicorn and a Pegasus. But we're going to make it into a Unisys, so that's got a mermaid's tail. So you've got land, sea and air in the power. So we've got our little phrases of our fractal geometry calendar, which is the one that we need to write in. Because with the last calendar we did, it was the linear system thinking, but we need to do the moon calendar now. We need to finish doing our soul inquiry for lunar, or even start for lunar living. So I'll bring that out so we can see it, because that was hidden. But I think we're going to stop that now, because I think we're at the level where we're supporting ourselves enough and can do our own stuff. And then we've got this book here, which was the start. This was from a reading that I did with my stepsister, Idea, Plan, Action, which is the conventional way. We tend to do action, idea, plan. So they designed a complicated garden ages ago in this, because this is our garden book. and then food great in pot plants, food in all day sun, front, food in shade. And then we did another drawing a bit more to scale just the other day, and then we went over that with the gardener. So we just got to kind of wait for some of the benefits money to come in, be good with our money and spend that on some sleepers and stuff for the garden. So it's just, yeah, that's with a tape measure, the book, pen, idea, plan, and then some sage. It's just like a pretty funky pile. So there's those piles there, shader up there. Oh yeah, then the other day, so this is how how we listen to our subconscious. Some stuff fell down off the shelves in the bedroom. So I think now we've started the math stuff, we'll be able to get on with finishing these off, because this is all to do with words and portals and fractal geometry. So we couldn't have our attention brought there because it would have sent us off balance too soon. But some stuff fell off that shelf onto the floor, and we were going to put it just back up. We have done now. That's stuff there is kind of like when we were a therapist, so it was all our forms. Which we are just so far from now. So this was what we did. Some information on sound healing, case study, and then there's the sound healing treatment form that we created. So we made that. And then we made our case study form as well. So it's like I wouldn't even be able to do all this now. It's just nuts to see the different us's that have done stuff and are amazing at stuff to then what we can and can't do now. And this fell down as well, and this is basically a course that we started, that we were going to do, and the content of the course that we were going to have. And then on the back of it, it's got all the planning of our van. So there's bits of affirmation paper that were from when we did hypnotherapy. And then all planning from when we started designing the van that we lived in. So that fell on the floor and we started looking on it. This is how we've started trying to organise what we've done already and learn from it. But yeah, so living a life of meaning. That's the contents of what was going to be in the course of living a life for meaning. And this was back when we first started doing our trying to integrate and be comfortable with groups of people and be comfortable with women. And so this was back in like 2011 when we first moved into the van. So that was the content of a course. Oh yeah, we like that page. It's just, this is as you look at a person. So it tells you like whether they could potentially be lying or what part of the brain they're using to where their eye direction faces. And then these were the different trial posters that we made. Don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive. For what the world needs are people to come alive. And we couldn't come alive, because how could we come alive when the majority of us wanted to kill ourselves? The irony of the situation. Yeah, so I think they're pretty cool. And so, yeah, for the last 9 years, our subconscious has been using us as a guinea pig to figure out what makes us come alive, to do one altar, then go on to another altar, then go on to another altar. So you've got the seed growing, the butterflies of transformation in the world, because all this symbology is nuts. And then the hands of the yoga mudras into a heart. So all of this just is starting to mean so much more to me and understand it more. And it's just unbelievable. It's fascinating how the subconscious works. So yeah, the patterning shifts changing greatly. Consciousness is growing. This has been cleared out here. That side up there has been cleaned out too. So there's a real internal Mercury time of the mind. We've already done an hour. We've done the journaling, which has taken all morning, and we've done an hour and a half already of recording out loud, talking into one of the voice recorders on the phone. So this is us getting our information out for us and then getting it out and sharing it for others to inspire, and then for us to be able to put back together again when we revisit it again, because it's the movement of the planets, like with Spirograph. I think we're going to start creating and drawing again soon, so it's going to be fab. Anyway, we're going to go now. Just wanted to share that, so bye.